Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Makakodah, Shalom to 144,000, the rest of the elect Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Ezekiel 38, Russia may be feeding Iran targeted data. So this is from an article, Open Source Intel. By the way, this is a video that I was currently watching, put up by GMS Babylon is Fallen. The title is, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. The title of the video is Trump orders CENTCOM or Central Command to unleash the gates of hell on Iran. Now the scriptures say in Matthew about Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So now we know what the gates of hell, who they are, what it represents. It represents Esau's power structure. That's why he says, unleash the gates of hell on Iran. And it's going to backfire. So if you've been watching the news as of this morning, now it's updated to 4 U.S. military personnel was taken out. One of them was a Northern Kingdom woman, 19 years old, young, pretty woman, was taken. You have no business fighting a war, woman. You have no business being in the war zone. Anyway, so the elder was going through this, and let me see. Watch the whole video. It's short, relatively short, almost 45 minutes. Shy a few seconds. So here it is. U.S. So it made me think of a handful of precepts came to my head, but the main one was Ezekiel chapter 38, which I'm going to go to the Google and I'm going to ask what's the GMS take on Ezekiel 38 and try to get most of the chapter. I don't want to go long on this, but let's see where the Spirit takes me. You know what I always say. Because we want outs. We want this thing. We want the chip. Hurry up. Ship everybody so we can get the fuck out of here, man. Because this is a terrible. This place sucks. It says, you know how many things can you do in this fucking place? You know? You get a woman, your woman got demons. Any woman that you got demons on them. You got to worry about getting the woman, and when you get the woman, you got to vet the woman. You know, then when you have, if you go as far as having sex with the woman, you got to worry about getting the disease from a woman, because how many men she slept with, and women, because these women are out of control. That's why I'll say 99% of these women in America is just not going to make it. Just not going to make it. Because they know they're tainted. They're no good. You know? It says, U.S. officials suspect China or Russia may be feeding Iran. This is why I labeled it, entitled it Ezekiel 38, because Russia is going to be a guard unto, or protectorate unto Iran. So I'll say more so Russia than China, but Russia and China work together. They share each other's technologies. It said Russia may be feeding Iran targeting data after Tehran struck sensitive sites with unusual precision. Wall Street Journal. That's what the WSJ stands for. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this. Because like I said, it says China or Russia, more so Russia, because they have the technology as well as China, may be feeding Iran targeted data, which is information, because they possess satellites too, China and Russia. Like I said, the first precept that came in my mind, chapter, was Ezekiel 38. So I'm going to go to Ezekiel 38. Bear with me for a minute. What's the GMS Israelite take on? Okay, let's see what it says. I didn't want to get into the whole chapter, but let's see. The Great Millstone, GMS, a well-known sect within the Hebrew Israelite movement, interprets Ezekiel 38 as an end-time prophecy predicting the imminent fiery destruction of modern-day Babylon, which they believe is the United States and Western society, via nuclear warfare during World War III, which is actually Armageddon, the end of the world, World War IV. The core of the GMS interpretation of Ezekiel 38 and the battle of Gog and Magog, which represents Gog as Russia, Magog is from Gog, centers on the following concepts. Modern Babylon is the United States, and GMS eschatology, the wicked Babylon described in prophetic books like Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Revelation, is modern day America. They believe America will be destroyed for its systemic wickedness, oppression, and enslavement of the 12 tribes of Israel. So we cheer Trump because he's leading the world into this war. Modern Babylon is the United States, and GMS eschatology, the wicked Babylon described in the prophetic books like Ezekiel, Jeremiah 49, 50, 51, because they're fresh in my mind, and Revelation 18, 17, really the whole book, because the whole book of Revelation is about the end times. As modern day America, they believe America will be destroyed for its systemic wickedness, oppression. Did I read this already? I'm sorry. Fire and brimstone means nuclear war. Ezekiel 38:22 speaks of the Most High entering into the judgment with pestilence, blood, and torrential rain, hailstones, fire, and brimstone. GMS interprets this fire and brimstone as literal nuclear missiles, ICBMs, that will be launched against the U.S. by a coalition of other nations, which includes the NATO nations, EU nations. The downfall of the wicked, the Gog and Magog coalition, which is Russia, is seen as the military forces and political lines of the modern world that ultimately turn on the ruling system of the West, right? That's Revelation 17, starting from the 12th verse. GMS connects the destruction of Ezekiel 38 with the massive destruction of Babylon described in Revelation 18. The whole chapter of Revelation 18, one of my favorites, is all dedicated to John saw the utter destruction of, and what he saw in the first two verses, let's say, he saw the destruction already. Then it kind of went backwards. You got a prequel that went backwards. It showed you the greatness of the place and how at the end of the chapter, it opened up with the destruction. There's a term for that in the movie industry, where the movie like Carlito's Way, the movie Carlito's Way starring Al Pacino. The movie started at the end of the movie. The same thing goes for the movie Bamboozle by what's this guy, Spike Lee. The movie started at the end of the movie when Delacroix was bleeding out because of a nigger woman shot his ass. You know? It says, where a mighty angel cast a great millstone into the sea to symbolize the sudden violent collapse of the wicked empire. Now, if Nero knew this, he wouldn't be doing all this stuff, because he don't know. And guess what? Paula White ain't telling him shit. Paula White ain't telling him a damn thing, because she don't know nothing. She don't know nothing about the prophecies. John Hagee would have gave him a call. Hal Lindsey, if he's still living, would have gave him a call. All these evangelicals, these Bible thumping based people, they would have all did videos. They don't even do videos on that. They ain't even the red hat people, the MAGA people. They wear their hats and they got the QAnon prophecies, which I don't even know what that's all about. What's that all about? But they'll read the scriptures. But if they really understood the prophetic part of the scriptures, they would know that America is mentioned in the scriptures in code. So, it was stupid of him to get Paula White to be his so-called religious Christian advisor when she didn't know the prophecy. She was. If you ask her anything about Babylon, the biblical Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the Babylon of the Book of Revelation, she's not going to say it's America. But you got some that will say it. I did videos on that. It's a deliverance of the 12 tribes. Ultimately, GMS believes these apocalyptic events, while terrifying, will clear the earth of the wicked nations or nation. This prepares the way for the return of, it says, Jesus Christ, known in GMS as Yahushua. Thank you for that. And the physical apparent of deliverance, salvation, and global ruling reign of the true Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. Would you like to explore how GMS and other Hebrew Israelite groups interpret other specific end-time prophecies, such as Zechariah 14 or Zechariah 18? Let's go to Zechariah real quick, and I want to go play some of the elders' video. He puts a lot of clips, so I'm afraid to put it up because they might, give me a strike for that. So let me see. Let's go to Zechariah 14. You already know I'm going to go. We were going through this yesterday. Okay, good. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh shall smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. This is King James. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. For GMS, this verse is one of the primary prophetic proof texts used to, and the first time I heard this was by a man named Hal Lindsey. He put together a movie called The Late Great Planet Earth, which you can watch that movie on YouTube, I believe, to this day. It says prophetic proof text used to describe the mechanics of modern warfare and final destruction of the current global power structure. Their breakdown of the verse includes. So going back to Hal Lindsey, he said he reads the scripture and he says this can only be talking about nuclear explosion. Then in that, after the scene, he shows a bunch of regular people. What do you think about the future? Oh, the future is bright. Everything good. Then they asked a number of scientists, and they all said the future is bleak. Don't be surprised if there's World War III. So the average person, they don't know what the hell's going on. They're like basically hamsters on a hamster wheel. They said the plague is nuclear fallout. While mainstream theologians often interpret this plague as a supernatural disease or divine wrath, GMS teaches that, which they're wrong on, GMS teaches that the ancient prophet Zechariah was struggling to find vocabulary to describe a modern thermonuclear explosion. And that's what he saw. He saw skin coming off of the people. It was the radiation fallout. It says they argued the thermal radiation from an intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBM, is the only force capable of melting a human body. A bullet can't do it faster than it can fall to the ground. That Besem in Isaiah chapter 14, the latter part of Isaiah 14, it says Besem. Besem is a broom. So the Most High is going to use his divine broom to sweep that radiation, and that's where people's flesh are going to come off of them. They're not going to. That's not talking about the ones that get blasted. You got the missile that hits ground zero, then you have the fallout, the radioactive fallout that's going to tear people's skin off of them, melt them. They will be melted, and the scriptures does mention melt. It said they're going to melt. It said it can do a word search on the word melt. It can fall to the ground faster than it can fall to the ground while they stand upon their feet. The melting of the eyes, of their sockets and the tongue. This is all flesh, but it's talking about this covering is going to be no more, meaning going to be done away with. The eyes represent they see in the future, they're not going to see no more. And their mouth represent talking. They spoke great words. Daniel chapter 7. So they're not going to speak great words anymore because they're going to be done away with. And they're going to be like they've never been, pursuant to Job. You're going to look for them and you're not going to be able to find them. It says as the exact psychological effect of intense sudden nuclear heat, all the people that have fought against, there wasn't any nation, but the main nation is this nation right here, Esau, the Edomites. In GMS doctrine, the biblical Jerusalem and the true Yahweh are not the people of the land in the modern Middle East. Instead, they believe Jerusalem represents the 12 tribes of Israel, specifically the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American populations scattered throughout the America and the world. Literally, man. They say it's close to 9 billion people, but I would say 4 billion might be Israelites. Sands of the sea, stars of heaven, which cannot be measured or numbered. So we're a great people. And the Most High is getting ready to magnify us, and he's in the midst of bringing this man down by using a complete idiot, Nero. So Nero's doing a good job. It said, therefore, the people fighting against Jerusalem are the global. That's also in Revelation 20, verse 7. Are the global elites, the U.S. military, and the dominant Western nations, Babylon, that have systematically oppressed these groups, and they oppress us to this day. So we pray for this motherfucker's downfall. Okay, it goes into this connection to the chariots of Israel. Summary. Oh, I didn't ask about the mark of the beast, but it said, would you like to examine how they connect this verse to other specific judgments, such as Micah 4:1. Now, Micah 4:1 is the same scenario as Ezekiel 38. It's the same thing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to that since it came up. You know what? Or the mark of the beast, the microchip. Why would they say that? Because we are known for constantly going into the subject of the microchip. Micah 4:1. Let me do this. I just want to see what they say this. I want to cut it short, but you know how it go. You know how it go. Great Millstone GMS Camp views Micah 4:1, Malachi, I'm sorry, as another foundational prophetic cornerstone that, see, we're famous for what? Going into prophecies, apocalyptic works, eschatology, that aligns perfectly with their interpretations of Ezekiel 38, aligns perfectly, and Zechariah 14:12. What do they say concerning Malachi 4:1? And I'll read it. It said it aligns perfectly with Ezekiel 38 and Zechariah 14:12. And the King James Version, Malachi 4:1 reads, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven." And that's all throughout the prophetic books. It's the same scenario, the same one event, but in different visions. And all the proud, who are the proud? Yeah. And all that do wickedly shall be stubble, burnt up, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave neither root nor nothing to build on. Total desert. Anybody that's underground in a fallout shelter, they're done. They're gonna be deep fried. They're gonna be deep fried. And let's say they're coming out right just the right to go into slavery, because ain't nobody coming out of the hole in America. Once the missiles hit that place, anything on that landmass is toast. It's burnt toast. It says, for GMS, the verse is not a metaphor of the spiritual refinement of symbolic judgment. They interpret it as a literal, physical description of the nuclear holocaust that will destroy modern day Babylon. Google and AI and what is this? The chat, they are on point with what we say for about 95% of when you ask them a question, they 95% accurate. They go off a little bit here and there. The United States, their breakdown of the verse centers on the following points. America as a literal oven. That's the topic right there, y'all. Anybody want to take it? America as the literal oven. And you know I was going to get all this information, but let's keep reading. Reading on. America as a little oven. GMS teaches that the geography of the United States will become a massive It says the United States will become a massive enclosed furnace. That's why I said if you're in a fallout shelter, you're going to be burnt toast. You're going to be deep fried, extra crispy. Going to be a bunch of burnt, extra crispy Edomites and Jake. The best thing you can do, which is super rich, they're not even going to be in America. They're going to be in a neutral country. They're going to be up in a space station like the movie Elysium. They're going to be in that space station up there chilling. And we're going to go up there and we're going to grab them and put their ass into slavery, man. You know, we coming like Kal-El on their asses. They connected the phrase, the day that shall burn as an oven, to the 200 million nuclear. Woo! Yeah. They got that right. 200 million. Revelation 9 and 16, around there, thereabouts. 200,000, right? 200 million nuclear warheads, ICBMs, they believe will hit the U.S. during. Now, only a handful of warheads can probably take out all of America. 20 warheads should be able to take out America. 200 million warheads? There's no way you can be in a fallout shelter and survive that, man. You know how deep that fire is going to go? Oh my goodness. During World War III, Armageddon, because an oven traps, an oven traps heat to cook everything inside completely. Now, when I cook certain things, I'll turn the oven off, and I'll just let the heat that's trapped in there, it makes whatever, it cooks it even more without turning the oven off. Turning the oven off, the heat is trapped in there. It's still hot. It says oven traps heat to cook, because they're gonna get cooked for real. They're gonna get cooked. They're gonna get deep fried. This is beautiful, man. And this Nero, he has no clue as to what he's doing. The Most High truly set this man up. And this man definitely has to be Nero. He looks fucking like Nero. Most High's just dealing with man's goings up the Lord. So how can a man then? He's doing what he got to do, and the Most High put the spirit on them, the people behind the Senate. The Senate is all sleepy. They dropping dead like flies. They're all old. Just like the Senate 2,000 years ago. Old, rich farts. Back then they wore togas. Now they wear suits. The same motherfuckers coming back in the reincarnation. Mitch McConnell, oh, he didn't die. He's all. No, that motherfucker been dead. He was dead while he liveth. What are you talking about? And then, what's the other devil that died? He just dropped dead. He came back from, where did he come from? I think he was in the Middle East. I think he was in Israel or something, doing something. Or Ukraine. And they saying that they did something to him. What's this guy? The Mo. The old ass Mo. I can't, somebody help me out. It said they believe will hit the U.S. during World War III because, I'm trying to think of his name, because an oven traps heat to cook everything inside completely. GMS argues that this language describes how the thermal radiation from the, and you don't want to be caught. You that came into this truth and went back into the world, you're gonna be in that oven. You're gonna get deep fried. You're gonna get extra crispy. All you scoffers that been coming against us, you come on YouTube, you people that follow vocab, including vocab, he gonna get, you know, like as of 15 years maybe, there's a thing called on Thanksgiving called a fried turkey. Well, vocab gonna be a fried turkey, a deep fried turkey. You know. It says, okay, describes how the thermal radiation from thousands of nuclear blasts will blanket. That's the besom of destruction. Blanket the entire American continent, the U.S., leaving no escape for those left behind. They worrying about a rapture. Ain't gonna be no rapture. The only rapture is when the Most High deliver us one time. The stupid ass Christians say there's gonna be a rapture where people are gonna be taken up into heaven, and then the remaining people are gonna stay here on earth under the 7-year tribulation period, which they do that based upon Daniel 9, which Daniel 9 took place already. Show you how they don't know the prophetic part of the scriptures. Like I said, Paula White, she doesn't know the scriptures, man. All the proud and wickedly, all the proud and wickedly defined, or do wickedly. In GMS doctrine, the proud and the wicked refers specifically to two groups: the Edomites, according to, and they said the 2/3 represent the other. No, represent Esau. But since you put it in there, I'm going to read it anyway. It said the Edomite, according to GMS theology, white people are the biblical descendants of Esau, Edom, and the primary rulers of the current wicked world system, right world system. They are viewed as the epitome of biblical pride, the epitome of biblical pride, the height, the pinnacle of biblical pride. The 2/3 GMS. Well, this is in Amos 9, so it speaks about the all that do wickedly, which is Jake too. So Jake is going to go too. So GMS teaches that 2/3 of Black, Hispanic, and Native American population, the true Israelites who refuse to repent, or who refuse to repent, reject the GMS message, and continue to assimilate, like this guy Noel, whatever his name is, Nolan, whatever his name is. You know, he was all in that world. He was buddy with Esau. But that's, hey, you can't tell me that you haven't come across a Hebrew Israelite video. So the hell with these niggas, man. I ain't marching for them. Into Western culture, therefore they will be classified among the wicked. That's Amos 9, and will burn alongside their oppressors, right? Including Moab, Ammon, all these different. You got the Babylon is a great melting pot, and you got every nation in America. Those are the particular nations that back in the past came up against us. So they're gonna all eat a missile, and no nation or religion on the planet Earth is teaching about the coming mark of the beast. Did you check that out? Peep that. Islam, Farrakhan, he ain't teaching that. The so-called black consciousness community is not teaching that. Christians are rarely teaching. There's a few Christians that teach about the mark of the beast, but they're few in number, and people look at them as conspiracy nuts. So this, hey, once you take that chip, you fail that test, that's your ass. You know, your favorite uncle, the nigga gonna get burnt up. He gonna get deep fried, extra crispy. Okay, neither root nor branch. Right, because we're gonna put him in captivity. We're gonna give him work assignments. That's in Ezekiel chapter 9. That's their first job. And then we're going to put them in pits, and we're going to take them out of the pits and give them work assignments. That's in Isaiah 24. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You know? And that's an act of hate. So IUIC, you're going to have to hate this man when you got him out there working. You don't have nobody working in the field from Can-See to Can-See. If you love him, you gotta hate him. All right. So let me go ahead and read this, and I'm gonna close it. It states the phrase "it shall leave them neither root nor branch" is interpreted as total generational and habitation. GMS emphasizes that the nuclear fire will completely wipe out the power structure, the bloodline. No, they'll be here to go into slavery, but they'll be scattered in Europe and different places around the world. So the Edomites in America, none of them is going to taste slavery. They're going to taste it when they're born back again in the earth. The first group of Edomite slaves are going to be from Europe. And they're going to try us, and they're going to lose too. And the physical presence of the ruling elites on America, because we're going to find them. Psalms 149. We're going to find them, and they're going to lose everything. And we're going to put them, we're going to put garments of mourning on them, and they're going to be working out there in the field. And their children, their rich, well-to-do children, they're all going in the field. They're going to lose every fucking thing. And this is in our lifetime. We counting down the months on America. I know it sounds like a broken record, but we done gave you everything, so we're constantly reviewing, analyzing, and psychoanalyzing, Ruling elites on American soil. The root represents the present ancestors, and the branch represents the children, future generations, meaning entire family lines of the wicked will be entirely cut off in the destruction. But now that goes after they serve time in captivity. Anyway, let me come over here. So I'm gonna let the elder cook a little bit.
Someone's giving them the coordinates, right? And they're giving them, this is it. North 47, south 43 degrees, 2 point whatever, west 70 degrees this. That's the target. They're all working in cahoots. And why wouldn't they be? Because Russia knows that the Ukrainians have been aided by NATO and America for that.
And Russia and China knows that Nero ain't gonna do shit, because you don't want Russia to get in the fight. You don't want, Russia keeps telling Iran, give us a call, All you gotta do is make that call, and it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. But they said, we don't need y'all. We can handle ourselves. So this man has put Babylon in a hot mess, but it's by prophecy. And none of these guys in the military have a backbone. Because the super elite said, no, he's gonna be the guy. No, we don't want him out. As soon as they say, he's out, guess what? If the elite, the super elite, say he's out there, we want him to disappear by tomorrow, he gonna wind up like this guy, the guy that died, the senator that died. Lindsey Graham, it just came to me. I believe, the way they were talking, they believe that they did something to him. So they can do something to Nero. But they don't want to do nothing to Nero, because Nero's doing a hell of a job. Because the elite think they're going to outsmart Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
The last 4 years, and they've lost that war. Ukraine.
What manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation? That's what Peter said. So we're supposed to be constantly talking about this. What are we doing? We gave you all the breakdowns years ago. We're psychoanalyzing everything. We're constantly reviewing everything. So if it sounds like a broken record to you, hey, it is a broken record. That's how the laws were given. When the laws was given to Moses to give to Israel, it was repetitious.
Indians and NATO. So, let's go back to the brother. Let's see a little bit more.
Officials suspect that China or Russia may be feeding Iran targeting data after Tehran struck very sensitive sites with unusual precision. That's right, there's a lot of people wondering, how did this happen? You can see the strike here, or at least what is reported to be the strike here, and you can see why this was so devastating.
See, we're not wondering how it happens. We know who's on whose side. We know this according to the scriptures, to the Bible. The Bible's quite clear what nations are going to be on what side when this war kicks off, which it has been going on for a little while now. But when it gets to the precipice where America goes head to head with Russia, we know whose side these nations are going to be on. It's all biblical, it's prophetic, it's prophecy, it's in the Bible. Ezekiel 38 lays it out.
I didn't know he was going to go on Ezekiel 38. But when you hear Russia, you think of Ezekiel 38. You think of Revelation 20, verse 7.
You could see the secondary explosion there means that it must have hit some type of fuel tank, some type of gasoline line.
Which is called precision. They're hitting exact targets. They're not just shooting missiles at them. Remember, Iran has the technology that the U.S. has, except the only thing they don't have is long-range missile capability. Let's come over here for a minute.
All right, Shalom.
Okay, I got to be careful because the elders puts a lot of clips in there. I don't want to get strikeout. So I'm going to be very careful.
But when the audio's on point. All right, Shalom.
And there's no excuses. Look at this. All these Israelite GMS. GMS. And it's all based upon prophecy. Okay, what's this here? This is Bayan Yasha Allah's Live. Prophecy and News.
Shalom, before I get started, we give all praise
and we in the Sabbath any goddamn way.
and glory to Yahweh Bahasham.
What manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation? I'm not gonna play this because this might be I might get a strike for this.
Yehovah Shai, Bahasham Rakam Qudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who told this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit of Rakam Qudash. Pray that this quick lesson is edifying. Alright, so I tried to find part 1 to this video, alright, but I couldn't locate it. But in this part 2 clip here, there's Jake. He's going in on his Edomite on his that called on his show. He's going in on what you call so-called white culture. Now Jeremiah 51 and 7 tells us that Babylon is responsible for making all the earth drunken through her wine. All right, and really, you know that wine is Edomite culture. All right, aka Western influence, right, which is responsible for pretty much corrupting the planet Earth. All right, so he makes some real good points that I just was thinking about. It's all spiritual, right? So let's get into it real quick. About 3-minute clip, right? But he's making some points, right? Let me go back there. Salakia. Now hear what he said, right?
Those are white kids.
I do understand.
Those are black kids transition. What do you mean? Majority homosexuality. It wasn't black men or Indian or Asians who were fighting for fucking gay rights or the ability to marry. That was overwhelmingly
you did get me on that
white.
one.
All of it has been white.
You did get me on that one.
There's nothing to get you on. I'm not trying to. There's nothing to be shameful of. It's just a fact.
It's because of the white liberal woman, bro. It's not like
You can say whatever you.
No, it's a man that has control. Liberal That whole liberal woman thing was started by the Rockefellers, man. What the hell are you talking about? Men supposed to have control over their women, man. That's why we don't deal with the sisters. Most of us don't deal with the sisters because they have no power. Ain't nobody deal. I ain't looking at no. Anytime I talk to a woman or have an interest, well, then again, there's some sisters that are like low key. But for the most part, I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them Latin chicks.
You want white liberal women, white whatever. I'm telling you, conservative and liberals, y'all are both gay. It's a part of your culture. It's norm.
Yeah, you passed laws to protect it. Women didn't pass those laws. Y'all passed some laws. And Nero, he got the laws still on the book. He ain't passing laws, and we know about him.
What'd you say?
White, liberal, conservative, it's the same thing, fam. It's the same beast. It's your culture.
See, it's the same beast, it's the same culture, right? So I was thinking about that, man. That's them lines, okay? Them wicked philosophies, them lies. Matter of fact, let me go to the scripture, and we'll play it back. But that's the Edomite culture that dominates the planet Earth. This Greco-Roman system, this Greco-Roman culture, right? Just thinking out loud. This is Jeremiah 51. All right, let's go there real quick. Jeremiah 51 and verse.
And let me tell you a story about Nero. I forget Nero. I believe Nero's mother was named Agrippina. If I'm not mistaken, it was his wife. But either mother or the wife was Agrippina. But anyway, I believe he killed his wife. And he missed her. She could have died, or he killed her. I think he killed her. And he missed his wife. So he found a young man that looked like his wife. And he said, I'm going to marry you. But first I got to cut your penis off. I got to turn you into a woman first. I'm talking about Nero. Okay? That's something Nero 47 would do right now. He's a sick, sadistic bastard. That's why the Most High got him where he's at.
6 and it reads, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Yahweh Shemir Rashad's vengeance.
Yeah, be not cut off by her iniquity, like Diddy. All them niggas was down. They were falling. They were drinking shit. First of all, I wouldn't go to no fucking parties, but they'll give you drink. Here's drink this, and all of a sudden you wake up next day with your, with your pants off, down to your kneecaps, and your butthole hurts, and you go to the doctor. You gotta get stitched backed up. All these jakes that's in that fucking world, the celebrities, every last one of them, you name it, they sold out. And they all had to bend over, one way or another. So that's what it's talking about. Don't get caught up in that world.
He will render unto her recompense, all right, for all of the evil and wickedness that Babylon has promoted through the earth, which all goes back to Esau, Edom. Okay? As he was saying, so-called white culture, Edomite culture, man. Western influence, right? Jeremiah 51:7, the point, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, Yahweh Shemir Rashad's hand, that made all the earth drunken, right? That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, all right? The nations have fallen away from who they are by following and indulging in the philosophies of the whore. All right, taking on the spirit of Babylon.
So that's how you know that Jeremiah 51 he's reading out of goes hand in hand with Revelation. That's the connection right there. Revelation 17 to be exact, where it speaks about having a golden cup in the hand.
Okay, this is how America, Babylon the Great, has caused these nations to fall away. They're mad. All right? That Western influence is what we always talk about. So this is what he's saying. All right, it's not the liberal, it's not the conservative, it's not the Democrat, it's not the Republican. All right, they're all part of the same beast. You see? And I'm glad he made that point because that's heavy. All right, it's the Edomites, man. Okay, the beast system as a whole. Right? Let's go back. Let me get one more. Matter of fact, we'll play it back again and we'll grab more scriptures. Right? Let me go back, Salakia.
Let me fast forward.
Those Mary?
On that one. White liberal.
Let me get that too. And that's why this place is being brought down. This is why this place has been exposed. All right, hated worldwide.
By who? The prophets. We are the prophets. Nobody on the planet Earth is teaching what we're teaching. Instead of like IUIC marching every goddamn where, getting with the brown berets or whatever, this Chicano gang, militant thing, marching with them hand in hand. No, you're supposed to be prophesying. Your focus is on the elect, not just waking Jacob. You're an Israelite. No, it's about you say it in general, but the ones that's going to come in are the elect. And Apostle Paul, we always quote this. Apostle Paul, most important gift to have is a gift of prophecy. That's over charity, because he said the most important gift thing is charity above all. But then that's in the 13th chapter, 1 Corinthians. In the 14th chapter, he said, but above that is prophecy, not even tongues. So the Lord didn't say march down the street and dress the same. No, he said just teach, because you got 2,000 guys marching. That's how many camps? Let me see, if each camp is a 4-man camp. If it's 2,000 men, that's 500 camps. That's 500 camps right there. When they see you marching, I'm an Israelite. Oh, it's so great that they're marching out. But what did you get from this? You ain't waking up to the fact that you're Israelite. You're gonna remember them marching.
Okay.
Everybody that's in GMS has to be a teacher. Every man in GMS has to be. That's your weapon is this truth. You're in a spiritual war, not a physical one. So your bullets are the truth, the scriptures. Your gun is the scriptures. If you ain't actively doing videos and out there on the highways and the byways, putting that work in, then you ain't really part of GMS.
War is being prepared against it, everything, man. Okay, that shameful spewing, right? Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Okay, Habakkuk 2:16, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. All right, this place is being exposed to the core. Okay, and all of that so-called American glory is being brought to shame. Okay, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand, the cup of Yahweh Shemeshah's right hand, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing should be on thy glory. So everything he's saying. Everything that America is about and what Babylon promotes, it's all shameful. It's all detestable, degeneracy, man. To the Moism, transformism, the PDF files, all that. Everything we always talk about, the exposure, the children, the rituals, everything.
Nero ain't using ICE to round up Moes. He ain't using ICE to round up adulterers. You know?
Thing, man. This is all Edomite culture. All right, this is the Western way. That's pretty much.
He's not making them keep the Sabbath, but him and God, they like they're 2 peas in a pod. This place is completely fucking done. It's completely done. The only thing holding this place up is a chip. And please hurry up and put that chip out there and get them people to take that chip. That ultimate test. Because you know we always speak about the chip. And that's going to be a game changer for these other camps. Because they're going to have to explain it now. Because there are people who are going to ask them about, you know what, I'm going to lose my job if I don't get that microchip. Do you think that? Now if you tell them, don't listen to Tahar and them and GMS and whatever, and you go ahead and take it, you're done, and your teacher, your master teacher's done for pushing it. Even though he don't take it, he might not even take it. Johanna might tell you to take it, might not take it his damn self, but you're gonna die anyway. So you two major camps, you got a lot of explaining to do, and you too Wi-Fi, you false prophets.
Corrupted the planet, man. And this is why the Lord is bringing it in. And another point too to think about, based off the you know, I'm just thinking out loud, based off the these philosophies that have been pushed, this proves that this is Babylon the Great. This is mystery Babylon the Great. That's America. You see that? That within itself, the Spirit proves that. How can we identify mystery Babylon the Great and prove that it's America? By what? By the philosophies.
Well, scholars are now saying that. They start putting it in. At one time, you go back 20 years, 30 years, or whatever, 50 years. I wasn't saying Babylon's America. Now they're saying the daughter Babylon, the Babylon in you know, Jeremiah, you know, 50 and 51, Babylon in Revelation, Psalms, what have you. The daughter of Babylon, what was that, Isaiah 13, you know, king of Babylon. Mention the king of Babylon in Isaiah 14 and the king of Babylon in Jeremiah 50, if not 51. So they're equating it with Revelation when it speaks about Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon. So now these scholars are saying, you know, this could be America. It's described when you read it, especially Revelation 18. It's describing America. They're always bragging about they're the richest country, the greatest this, the greatest that.
All right, by the lies. Matter of fact, let's go back and I'll make my point. You see what I'm saying?
Those are white kids.
I do understand.
No, I'm black kids transition. What do you mean? Majority homosexuality. It wasn't black men or Indian or Asian.
If you become a Mo, you're not going to get arrested for it. You can be at a gay parade. They're not going to arrest you. ICE ain't going to roll up on you. Matter of fact, if you were one of the Latin tribes and you happen to be happy, they might let your ass go. Because that's the spirit of America.
Who were fighting for fucking gay rights or the ability to marry, that was overwhelmingly white. All of it has been white. Bro.
You did get me on that one.
There's nothing to get you on. I'm not trying to. There's nothing to be shameful of. It's just a fact.
It's because the white liberal woman, bro. It's not like
the women don't have power. Women don't have power. They give the power that they got is what the elite give them. Women do not have no fucking power. If the elite said there's not going to be no liberal woman and all that, liberal rights for women, that should all be cut. That shit was set up by small hats. What's the so-called Jews? The article with the ugly black woman with an afro with her fists up. Not Bella Abzug, the other one. But them so-called Jew woman lawyers, they push that shit. They get the marching orders from like the Rockefellers and the elite. What's her name? Not Bella Abzug. Gloria Steinem. She's another one. Yeah, she was them people, them small hats, man. They're set up by the elite. They didn't just wake up one day, I'm going to start a women's revolution. We're going to be equal. No. If they would have said, who are the main people doing this? Give them a call. Stop it as of right now. And they buck up against it. Guess what? Boom. They took it out. So don't give me that. That's what the punk ass Edomite would say. It was a woman. No, the women have no fucking power. The only power that they have is what this elite give them. And the elite can pull it away anytime they motherfucking well please. The fuck you talking about, man? This is why we having. This is why the women all the, you know, YouTube, all these women that regret leaving their husband and they, you know, body counts and all that shit will be stopped in 1 second, a millisecond or a second, let's say, in the kingdom. As soon as you have a woman that commits adultery, she gets put to death on the spot. The reason why these hoes do what they do, because of 911. You know, you got that buffer there, and you supposed to have that bitch locked down any fucking way. He that getteth a wife getteth a what? A possession. You supposed to. What do you think harems are all about? Look up the word fucking harem. You who took care of the hoes in the harem? The what do you call it? The niggas with no peanuts, no 3-piece set. The eunuchs. What they did was they took, you're gonna be a eunuch. They cut your shit off, and your libido, you get aroused by your libido, which starts in the mind and goes to your testicles. The testicles goes to the penis, brings blood to the penis, flows blood to the penis. The what do you call it? The hell do you call that shit? The pelvic floor, which is a group of muscles. There's certain exercises that you use. When the penis goes up, when you're young, the penis just goes up. When you get old, it doesn't go up. But if you do these exercises, you change your diet, it'll still go up. But that comes from a series of, you see a fat ass? That from your brain, that's a libido, goes to your nutsack. Your nutsack communicates with your rod to bring blood flow. That's what that's all about. You know, I went all into that, you know, but anyway, forgive me. But so a eunuch, when you cut that out, because they understood that in the ancient world, when you cut that all out, he doesn't think about women no more, because there's no communication from the brain to the nutsack, to the penis.
You can say whatever you want, white, liberal, women, white, whatever. I'm telling you, conservative and liberals, y'all are both gay. It's a part of your culture. It's
those conservative, the Patriot Party, the what do you call it, the Republicans, all them guys will go both fucking ways, man. They all go both fucking ways. But what they do is they hide it. That's why missiles are going to take this motherfucker out in our lifetime. When I say our lifetime, I'm saying months from now. And months from now, Babylon will be utterly wiped off the face of the planet Earth. Wiped off the map. Burnt to a nuclear crisp. Then you got this big head fucking vocab. He gonna save the day. Vocab, you don't know a motherfucking thing, man. And like I said, you're gonna become a fried turkey on that day.
It's norm.
What'd you say?
White, liberal, conservative, it's the same thing, fam. It's the same beast. It's
the same beast. It's your culture. It's the Edomite way, right? It's the same. It's all part of the same beast. Okay? Because these Edomites, they love to say, well, it's the liberals. You know, they blame it on wokeism. You know, all that bullshit. Republicans, you know, no, they're all in on it.
That's when you bust heads. There comes a time when you gotta bust heads.
It's all part of it's all part of this system, man.
See what these devils don't realize? See this hole right here? That's Babylon the Great, aka America. See how she's dressed? See that dragon, that beast? That's NATO and the EU. This is a beautiful poster right here. And we break it down beautifully. That's why when you go to Google, when you go to the chat GPT, or the AI, I always go to Google, then sometimes I go to AI, which is a backdoor to chat. And anytime you put in GMS, they're gonna give you, they're accurate 95% of the fucking time. So they know all our information. They even mention my name. The leader is Apostle Tahar, and next after him is Apostle. They got all kind of information on us, man.
The lies, democracy, religion, okay, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, murder, war, broken treaties, biological warfare, the sword, religion, Christianity. You see?
Edomite Christianity. Your fake ass, punk ass Christianity. The true Christians, when Nero was feeding Christians to the lions, ain't no Edomite was saying, yeah, I'm a Christian too. No, the Christians were Israelites that knew that they were Israelites that happened to follow the Messiah. When no Edomite walking around, I'm a Christian. No, your ass would have been grabbed up and thrown to the fucking lion, man. The Christians was more of an ethnicity than anything.
You know what I'm saying? So-called Western imperialism, man. It's all part of the same system. Okay? Let me get this too. Right? Before we go back. You know what? We'll just play it through. Let me stop and go. Let me just play it through for once. Right? Let me play it through. Salaki. We'll play it through.
Woman, bro. It's not like
We already heard this dude.
Now, because it's a,
because we're like
you say it's a black, that's a black. You would say it's a black Paul.
All right, where's the script?
And it's a waste of time arguing with Edomites. Just tell Jake who he is and that's it. The Edomite got something to say. Well, you got to prove through DNA that you and it. I said, I ain't got to prove a goddamn thing to me, man. You got to prove to me that you're not the devil. It's something that you can't do. You got to prove to me that you're not an Edomite. You got to prove to me that the Edomites were done away with. And you shook the hand of the last Edomite on the earth. Like vocab. The Edomites, they all just disappeared, man. One day they was here, the next day they were gone. This is why nobody takes vocab seriously, man.
Scripture, damn, I can't think it off the top of my head. It talks about how the wicked seduces our people. You know? Let me see if I can find it. I know it's in Proverbs, right? But that's what it is. Jake has taken on, fully embraced these ways of America, this Edomite culture, as he's talking about. He's saying white culture, but we know it's Edomite culture, man. That's them wines, all right, that have our people drunken, right? The wicked seducers. I'm just thinking about that real fast. Let me try to find it. You know? That's why the apostle say, niggas been in America too long. That's exactly what they're talking about.
That's why you leave a nigga alone. After the first and second admonition, reject of a heretic. I believe in this one. I don't. No. We don't want your opinion. We're not here to listen to you. We're not here to have a discussion or debate or dialogue. We're here to lecture to you. That's what we do. We lecture to you. If you can't see it, keep walking or shut the fuck up.
You know, niggas actually believe that, you know,
and that includes women too. Don't be coming up asking a whole lot of fucking questions. Just shut the fuck up, women. If you're having a sincere question, then you can ask it humbly. I ain't here to fucking cater to you. What did the Apostle Paul say in 1 Corinthians 14? Let your woman keep silent in the churches. I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. I'm quoting another. There's two scriptures where he gets on a woman. But in 1 Corinthians 14, he says, if you have any questions, let you ask your husbands at home.
They're in America, that they're equal, you know, that their lives matter, you know. You just in America, it's not like that, man. You know, that's why we're trying to get our people to wake up. You know, snap out of this spell, this bullshit. You know, shake yourself from the dust. It's Proverbs 12 and 26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So that's what he was saying when he made that comment about, you know, RuPaul and shit. Right? The way of the wicked has seduced our people here in America, man. And we always say, have you seen niggas lately, man? Go outside and look at Jake. All right? Jake got different colored eyes. He got blonde, red, and blue hair. Tattoos all over his face and body. Piercings all in his face. Right? That Edomite shit, man. You know, just a flaming Mo. You know, just out of the closet with a prideful.
Yeah, like Atlanta. Atlanta's famous for having Jake that go both ways. There's one video where this woman that was married to a dude, and a Mo grabbed it, got the man to leave his wife to get with him. Both of them supposed to be taken out on the spot. There's no sitting down and explaining shit and let him see a psychiatrist. No, you just, as Mr. Sim said, do you rehabilitate them? He said, no, you just killed them. Mr. Sim from Mr. Sim funeral home from what's the name of that damn something in the hood. Give me a second here. Bear me for a minute. I couldn't find it. I got the DVD. Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood. Do you rehabilitate them? No. You just kill them.
With it, man. You know, the black woman fully, you know, indulged in feminism and this debauchery, man. Okay? Our people have been seduced by the wicked. All right? Let's go back. You know? So like I got a lot of tabs. Here we go.
Person. Of course not.
Like
you would say it's a black RuPaul.
Let's go.
I didn't even know how many RuPaul.
There definitely is like a real.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, RuPaul was set up by Esau, man. That's how he became famous. He's supposed to be took out from the from the rip. Supposed to be taken out. You know?
Greco-Roman culture. This is how you know this is.
I'm gonna show you how the devil works. The RuPaul guy, he liked dressing up like a woman, and you know what, they used to give him roles, and they said, no, you got to be a man. He's such a mo that they had to make him play a fucking man.
Rome 2.0. All right. This is Babylon the Great, America. This is how we know through the Spirit. Okay. Nothing new under the sun. All right. The democracy, the Congress. The two-party system, Republican, Democrats, you know, the process of voting, okay, the breading circus, all right, all those different factors that tie in and prove that Babylon the Great is America, man. All right, the revamp of Rome, okay.
In Africa. How many RuPauls you got in Africa? How many shows like that? It's not African culture. It's not black.
He said, how many RuPauls you got in Africa? Good one.
American culture.
There definitely is like a.
You can do anything that you want in this fucking place. That's why men are not choosing to not be single. They're choosing to not be with women because of women with their bullshit, and they can always lie. They can always, you can go to bed with a woman. She can get up the next morning. You didn't kiss her right, or you didn't buy her that dress, and she turn around and say that you raped her, and you got your DNA in her. So, if you're dealing with these women, you might have to set up a fucking hidden camera and shit, and not use it unless you go to court. Say, look, I got everything on camera. Oh, I have them sign the form. I'm filming this shit. Either this could be used in court against you, or Or could just go up on you're not gonna do that. Like Mike Tyson with Desiree Washington. That's when you needed a camera. You needed the recording thing. And no, don't show nothing. You know, you hide it. Make sure they sign an agreement. We're gonna film this shit. That's what you got to come down to. Cause these look, when I back in my 20s and so 20s 30s, women wasn't like that, man. My dating experience was very very smooth, man. You know. In other words, women helped you. They helped you. In other words, women brought money with them just in case you didn't have enough. Like I'm telling you, women that I dealt with had money with them just in case you were short in the bill. She come, no, don't worry about it, baby. I got the rest. I'll take care of the tip. I remember that. I remember when you get with women. No, baby, it's on me. This is the woman speaking, man. That happened to me many a times, and not just me, many men. And then you say this is a ride or die, chick right here. You know. As a matter of fact, my thing was to impress a girl when I was young was to take them to my house and cook for them and have them cook. I'll cook for them or we cook together. Go shopping. That's what women from down south and out west do. The date is they'll come to your house or you go to their house and they'll cook for you. You know? You don't have to go to a fucking restaurant and spend all that fucking money.
Really, a gay Muslim culture, but black culture.
By all means, I don't know. I'm not Muslim, but I'm just telling you, it's European culture. This is what y'all promote.
It's not our culture. No.
It is your culture,
Don't do
man.
Don't. No.
You guys have been doing this since y'all been around. It was normalized, bro. Y'all were fucking like the gladiators and shit like that. Y'all the circus stuff like that. Look it up. It's all well documented.
Hey, but he's cooking. This is true. Hey, you go back and what was that movie that came out years ago? Spartacus. I think it was a series, man. They showed you this shit. Okay, no Romans was dealing with them damn gladiators, man. That Moism bullshit. That's their culture. Look what's going on. What's being promoted now? PDF files, right? How they're shielded from judgment. They can't be. You see what I'm saying? All this stuff is coming out with the feds and the child porn. You know, his infatuation with kids. All right, and this story just came out in Australia, right? That this Edomite woman ate her 4-year-old son, cooked his ass up and ate him. Cannibalism. So all this shit that's coming out right now, this is the Edomite culture. This is the so-called European way. This is who they are. Right? It's all documented. Right?
Because there was nothing shameful about it. It was normalized. It's been norm for y'all for quite some time. It's nothing. I mean, they got statues of it.
Oh my God!
I don't know what to tell you.
Greek shit was very depressing gayness. Yes.
Damn, all of it was gayness, bro. They just
all throughout your fucking history, you motherfuckers was moles. The hell you talking about? You was always moles, man. To this day. They
just didn't depict it like that.
Why you think Edomite women want to get with Jake men? Because you Edomite men are fucking moles, man.
Well, nowadays there's some of you who are like, oh, this is bad, this is wrong. And you're like, okay, sure, but this is what y'all been engaging in and practicing this entire time.
So what do you think about Don Lemon?
What about Don Lemon?
Don Lemon is a big lemon head. You know, he's married to an Edomite. He bragged at my husband. You know, he's on, what is it called, the Don Lemon Show? I be watching it because he be cracking me up. He's on YouTube because they fired him from CNN, but he makes more money on YouTube. And he always talks about his white husband. He said, my husband, see me and my husband. This nigga crazy, man.
Do you think it's from white culture, or do you think
that's being he came out the closet because he said he got touched. He got fucking touched. because there was a point on CNN where he was like the stud of all the women. Oh, Don Lemon coming on. Oh, he's so fine. He's so the Edomite woman. Then he had to come out the closet and said, I don't deal with women. Then he said that was during the time of what's this dude? T.D. Jakes, when that was coming out. You know, he might be a mole or whatever. And he came out the closet, man. You know?
Just ask you a simple question to completely debunk all this Don Lemon, RuPaul. Fam, if you see a black guy talking
I never said RuPaul. I never said that.
I know, but I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying as an example. If you see a black guy talking Japanese, is that black guy Japanese or is he a black guy speaking Japanese? It's as simple as that. Don Lemon
But don't
is a
blame it on
black
white
man.
culture. That's all I'm saying.
It is your culture.
Don't blame it
though.
on white culture.
That's exactly what the fuck it is, man. That's why it's in the scriptures. Romans chapter 1. Who was Paul talking to? He's talking to the Israelites of the living room Rome, and he's saying, stop being a damn faggot. Stop. And by the way, they're moles because the Most High made them moles. You don't make yourself a mole. The Most High put a spirit on you to be a mole so he can condemn you.
I'm saying don't blame it on white culture.
It
That's all
is
I'm
your
saying,
culture. I don't understand. It is your culture.
Man, I wish I could have found the whole 2 videos, man. But hey, it's all the spirit though. Like I'm saying, this ties back again to the wines. It's all Edomite culture. All right? Let me get this too.
Yeah, what's in that cup in Revelation 17, and also he read in Jeremiah 51 about the cup. Like I said, Revelation 17, Jeremiah 51. You go back some years. This is Kamala Harris went over to Africa. I think it was Uganda, if I'm not mistaken. And their legislation is, you know, if you're a Mo, they lock you up. So she went over there trying to tell them to change the laws, and they were like, "No, we ain't changing no laws." And she went over there with a paycheck. They said you can wipe your ass with the paycheck. Because those Ugandans are Jake, Ghanaians are Jake. You got to wake up, Captain Zariak. Do a DNA test, and then tell me that you're not a Hamite. Because most of your DNA gonna go back to West Africa.
I had this pulled up in the chat. All right. Matter of fact, before we get that, let me get this too in Isaiah. Okay, because it said in Jeremiah 51 that let me go back real quick. It said in Jeremiah 51 and 7, I'm going to read it again, right?
See, I mentioned that. I wasn't sure it was 50. I was almost positive it was 51, but I almost said maybe 50, but it is 51.
Jeremiah 51 and 7, it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of our wine, therefore the nations are mad. Let me get this word for drunken. Okay? This is why you see, you know, every country looks like an American city. All right, with the commercial fast food chains and that, you know, that whole Western influence. All right, women overseas shaking ass, twerking. You know, the nigga culture. You know,
hip hop all around the world came from America.
Everything, man. All the spirit of Babylon is all over the earth, man. It's the point I'm making, man. All right. This word for drunken, right? Yeah, it says to become drunk or drunken, be intoxicated, right? To make drunken cause to be drunk.
Now, if you don't go to Revelation 17, I'm going to go to it because as soon as he mentioned Jeremiah 51, I thought, what is it, Jeremiah 51:7? I immediately thought of Revelation 17.
Right? Let's see what else. Anything in the lexicon? Metaphorically, in the prophets, the wicked are said to be drunken, since they rush by a kind of madness upon their own destruction. Right? So the Lord gave this place away to pure evil, to His own destruction. But like I said, that the wines cause the people to be drunk. Right? Isaiah 19 and 14. Right? it says the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, right? And what kind of spirit is in the midst of spiritual Egypt? America. Okay? It says, and have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. See that? So that's pretty much.
When you're drunk, people see you and they talk about you. You know, you go to the back in the day, you go to the party, you get too much liquor up in you, you put the shade over your head, you start dancing all crazy, and you don't realize, and they're telling you the next day you suffering a hangover, and they're telling you what you did, and you deny that you did it, and they got everything on film. So that's what's happening now. Isaiah 47, and you're giving this intoxicant to the rest of the world, and they're mad at it. You gave the world democracy. Where do you think democracy came from? People are finding out democracy is bullshit.
It's like the state of the people here, man. Okay, the people in Babylon the Great live in error, man. They're drunken through sin, wickedness. That's the intoxication that the scriptures is talking about. Okay, these people are shit-faced, man, in the spirit. You know, and that's why the Lord gave this place over to this to that demon, to that wickedness, for its destruction. Okay, now going to the chat here, right? This was pretty heavy too, just to add on, because as I watched that clip, I was just thinking about, you know, the wines, and he was saying the so-called white culture was Edomite culture, and I was putting it in on the chat of how the wines of Babylon, how they parallel to America today, and this is what we got. Okay, Jeremiah 51:7, as we read, it says, within Jeremiah's historical context, the wine refers metaphorically to Babylon's influence, its power, idolatry, luxury, political domination, and the values it spreads to other nations. You see? It says similar imagery appears in Revelation 17 and 18.
He kept saying Revelation 17, because she had that cup too, and she made the other nations slave with her, committed fornication, meaning they did what democracy. Any nation that accepted the system of democracy went to bed with Babylon the Great. It didn't come out of Germany. The second democracy on the planet was France. That was about 10 years later, when they killed Queen Antoinette.
Where the wine symbolizes corrupting influence rather than literal drink, right? So where it talks about how the nations have become mad, it's not talking about a literal drink. It's the spiritual corruption that is pushed. That corrupting influence that is pushed around the four corners of the earth. Right? That's why you see nations starting to adopt Moism, transformism. Okay? Women's rights. Now women are dressing more provocative in certain countries, which at first would never allow that.
And that's why men don't want to mess with these women, man. You know what a man want to do? If he get a prostitute, he get a prostitute, go home. He don't want to be a husband. He don't want to have kids. He don't want to get married. The only reason why men tolerate all that shit, getting married, walking down the aisle, having kids, being a husband, good working for it's to constantly get what's in between a woman's legs. Because if she didn't have that, he's out of there, man. That's the only reason why a man deal with you.
You know? So that's all part of that corruption. It says, if someone interprets modern America as Babylon the Great, a view held by some Christians but not accepted by all.
And I said that early in the video, and I said in other videos, that you have certain, go to the chat, go to Google. Are any Christians teaching that Babylon the Great may be America, or something like could be America? And they're going to say yes. There's certain scholars that say this may be America. This pretty much describes America.
They often draw parallels like these, right? It says, wine, symbolic influence, modern example, or materialism, modern example, the pursuit of wealth, luxury, and consumer culture becoming a dominant value exported world.
That's how the Chinese became super rich. That's you have I don't know the count. At one time I did a video where I did a count on the number of billionaires on the planet, and China I believe was up there with America and certain European countries, but America was up there too. The number of billionaires it was America, China. I think there was more billionaires produced quicker in China than anywhere else. Why? Where do you get all the money from? Consumerism. Because America buys shit. That's why they set up the... Back in the day, if you got a credit card, you was something special in the hood. Now anybody can get a fuck. You can be homeless and get a credit card because you know what? They want to influence you to buy. If you don't got money in your pocket, you got a credit card. I know, because when I got my first credit card, I went crazy with it too. But I paid it off.
Worldwide, right? And what's heavy that's pushed around Babylon today? Through social media, these influencers, right? Everybody wants to be an influencer, man, a social media star in the pursuit of money and wealth, fame, clout. That's the spirit that's here. Materialism, right? Sexual immorality, entertainment and media normalizing pornography, promiscuity, and adultery, right?
And so you wouldn't need that stuff, promiscuity, pornography, if you had more than one wife. Ain't gonna be no porno in the kingdom, because you're gonna have 1,000 women, and they're all gonna be virgins, and they're all gonna be super young, 12 years old, as soon as they hit puberty, 6 months in, because they're gonna be trained by their mother to how to be ladylike in front of a man. Prepared, you're gonna get prepared. Was that Esther 2 verse 12, if I'm not mistaken? They bathe in certain oils, and then when the man smelt that smell and saw how beautiful she was and feminine, that libido, the libido is in your brain. See a woman with a fat ass, the libido goes, and then it sends a signal to your testes, and then your testes send a signal to your penis, and it sends a signal to the blood to flow down there, man.
Right, and that's pushed through what? The movies, the music. Okay, it's all over the media. Okay, these small hats, they own the corn industry. All right, that's a heavy stumbling block that's pushed out here, man. Men are losing their testosterone is at an all-time low. Men are not maturing properly. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I saw an article I had some time ago. Let me pull it up.
They said if you go back, I don't know if they said 50 years ago, something like that, that compared to a man now, that we have 50% less testosterone than a man of 50 years ago, because of the foods that we eat and every fucking thing around us, the BPA's with plastic. So when you advance in years, you're supposed to get better, not worse. You're not supposed to be going backwards. Something in the goddamn food. That's why the Most High Yahweh can't come quick enough to take this motherfucker out. So, and once he's taken out, everything's gonna be placed back in order. If you got a problem with the order, you're gonna get you're gonna get off with the head. If you got a problem with what we're gonna lay down on you, off with the head.
Right, just dealing with that part of the sexual immorality. Right, let me find it. Right. So this is from the Telegraph. Okay. And I actually got the article pulled up here. This is from the Telegraph. It says the West's greatest weapon in a war with China, online porn. Check that out. So corn is a weapon used against China. It says North Korean troops in Ukraine have reportedly become addicted to pornography. For the West, this could prove a vital military breakthrough. Check that out. See? Here's the article here, right? You know, because I couldn't read it from that site, but it says here. This is from the Hindu the Hindustan Times. The Hindustan Times, it says the West fight against China, an unlikely weapon emerges: online corn. Okay, because through that corn is how you make the men weak. So this is a tactic of war from the West, right? Amid the geopolitical tensions between the United States and China, analysts have pondered the role of economic sanctions, military might, and strategic alliances. Yet an unexpected tool is now being discussed in some quarters as a potential weak spot for
the scriptures. The law. This is what the law says. This is what the scriptures say. When they went up to the mount, come not at your wife, and it says, come not at your wife for 3 days. You know? And they did that before war. You do a thing called semen retention, which I suspect most of us is doing that. Semen retention. Retain the semen.
Beijing. Online pornography. See? Can't make this up. And like we said, even the further dealing with the sexual immorality, even the Moism and the transformism, right? Let me get that too before we go back to the chat, because I had brought this out before. Even that's a weapon of war. That's part of his sword too. All right. Again, America's first report, Pride is a thinly veiled color revolution to destroy Western civilization. All right. I just want to read the quote from the Satanist Edomite down here, first paragraph. It says the term color revolution is often associated with covert efforts among U.S. and European interests to foment civil unrest within enemy nations and sometimes allied nations as a means to destabilize their societies. See that? So this is what the corn is for. All right, the Moism, all of that shit. All right, it's to bring down your society. Okay, look what they've done to America, right? As a means to destabilize their societies and governments, right? That's why certain shit that America pushes is banned in other countries, man. The food, the shit that they put in the media, all right? That shit is banned in most countries, man. But again, that's those wines. That's the Edomite culture that's being pushed. It is essentially fourth generation warfare, a concept expanded by Lieutenant Colonel.
Now I was going through, I hope he speaks on it too, but I looked up fourth generation warfare, what IDF is doing, Israeli Defense Forces is doing, blowing up hospitals, buildings, schools, all civilian targets. That's examples of fourth generation warfare. In other words, you don't go on the battlefield, you kill the civilians. So something's got to happen, man. If you look it up, somebody look it up and put in the chat the meaning of the term fourth generation warfare. Remember when they dropped the Tomahawk missile on this school, a girls' school? There was a number of girls in there, and they asked the question Trump about. He said it wasn't us. Then they said, they found out it was a Tomahawk missile, which the U.S. produces Tomahawk, only nation that produced Tomahawk missiles. So you know what this devil said? He said, well, we sold Tomahawk missiles to the people of Iran. Well, you're guilty anyway, man. You understand? And they denied it. So it was you. Deny. And then come to find out that was targeted because those were the daughters of military men of the Iranian military. So that's what's called. So you notice then I mentioned nothing about the Geneva Convention. That shit is out the window. Fourth generation warfare is Geneva Convention's out the window. You under the Geneva Convention, if a medic truck came to pick up the wounded, you're not supposed to, fire upon it. But they're doing that shit any goddamn way. This man, if this man's not the D, I don't know who is. Job 9:24. If not, who and where and who is he?
Michael Aquino, a self-professed Satanist, in a white paper titled "From Psyop to Mind War."
If he's in America, what is it? The law, scriptural law, suffer not a witch to live. You have covens in America and the military, so you can practice witchcraft in America. So, but then you say there's a God-fearing society, and you swearing on the Bible. Where the scriptures say swear not at all on anything.
The goal is straightforward: to go to war against a foreign country, as we just read here. To go to war against a foreign country, right? And what are they doing to the? What are they trying to do? Pushing the corn, right? To weaken the men. You see, it says the goal is straightforward: to go to war against a foreign country or one's own country by attacking the citizenry rather than its armies, or to exploit the target population as a weapon to trigger instability. Yeah, to break the society down. There you go. So you can't. There's no way in hell you can't sit and say Babylon the Great, man. You see that? Let's go back. All right, again, sexual immorality, entertainment and media, normalizing pornography, promiscuity, and adultery. I know I beat that word up. That's why you see these women. Look at the woman today. Whore, sluts. All right?
Yeah, your sisters are fucking going. 99% of y'all are fucking going. Y'all gotta eat a missile. You women are fucking going, man. You young girls are fucking going.
Adulterers, you know. It says idolatry, elevating celebrities, right? All these stupid ass shows that people watch and follow, social media, money, technology, political power, or self above God, and a lot of that's pushing in society. The atheism, all right. People openly, boast against the Most High, blaspheme. Moral relativism, the idea that truth and morality are subjective rather than grounded in God's standards. Exactly, and that's what the society pushes. Okay, that anti. Let me get that too. Was it 1 John? That spirit is already in the world. Was it 1 John, the 4th chapter? I'm just thinking out loud, 1 John chapter 4 and verse 4. No, verse 3. And it reads, 1 John chapter 4, verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of the Most High. And this is the spirit of the anti-Messiah, or the Antichrist, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world, all right? And that spirit is indeed in the world already. Okay? This is why we're in these last days, man. You see the way society has shifted, man. All right? Shit is waxing worse and worse. All right? 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Perilous times shall come. Men should be lovers of themselves, blasphemers of the Most High, haters of God, all these things that come to mind, but that proves that. Okay? Let's go down. Just want to get through here real quick. Pride, national, cultural, or personal self-exaltation instead of humility before the Most High. Yeah, America's all about pride. All right, what does it say in Jeremiah 50? Shall our power, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Yeah, that's those missiles, man. All right.
He said he read camp against it round about. The missiles are going to be coming towards the west coast from China and Russia, and from the European nations they're going to be coming towards the East Coast. If you can picture a map in your head, I can picture a map in my head. The world map, which is a globe, China and Russia is to the west of this country, this continent, and the NATO nations is to the east, which is their west. Russia can shoot they can shoot west and east and still hit America. So that's what it means by a roundabout.
Right? Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work. Right? Recompense her according to her work, according to all she have done. Do unto her, for she had been proud against the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, against the Holy One of Israel. See? It says, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets. All her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Verse 31, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. All right, that's Babylon, America, the most proud, the proudest nation on earth.
Their number one song, which came out 20 some odd years ago, 25 years ago, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. They always play that, showing you that they're the proud ones that the scriptures speak about. What did he just read? He said, right, behold, I am against thee, O most proud. I'm proud to be an American, because at least I know I'm free. That shit is all dead.
Saith the Lord, power of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise them up. And I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Yeah, that nuclear destruction is going to end this place. Right? Let's go back and read some more here. Violence, entertainment that glorifies revenge, bloodshed, and cruelty. All right, all these things that we see going on today. Okay. Hey, Revelation 6 and 4, right? That came to mind. He's the man of war. He's the man of violence. It says he wears violence like a garment. Revelation 6 and 4. And it reads, and there went out another horse that was red. All right, and this red is tied back to Esau, Edom. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And through these philosophies as well, wines. Right, he's taking peace through, from the earth, man. Okay? It says, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Yeah, that's his blessing, man, the sword.
That's what those wars they had with each other. Most of them wars were against each other. Ukraine and Russia, Edomites. America, World War I, World War II, fighting against Edomites. Germany. Both wars were centered around Germany. Germany was the enemy. The Revolutionary War, they were Edomite fighting Edomites. The Civil War, they were Edomite from the south fighting Edomite from the north. The Indian Wars, they had countless Indian wars with Gad and Reuben, and they lost most of them. This man is a warlike man, a violent man.
Okay? So those wines tie into that too. Right? Greed, corporate exploitation, predatory lending, and valuing profit over justice. Yeah, shit. You got money in this society, you can buy your way out of murder. Right? You know, the wicked slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You know, everything we see is that this is the embodiment of America, man. Babylon.
I want to check this.
Sorcery, pharmakia. Some interpreters can
through traditions of men and come back to your God.
What is this? Phoenix Local, following on IG, altered me that his church was getting blitzed by the IUIC cult.
Read. And if it first be, yes sir, for the time has come.
So I jumped in. Hold up.
Read. And if it first be, yes sir.
So I jumped in the van and drove.
For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
This is what happens when you block an IUIC.
We were already in Egypt, right? Okay.
It says that the new king
Ramses.
was scared. Is that what he said?
Is that why we went into slavery? Because he was.
Listen to what it says. It says the new
Is
king.
that why?
It says the new king.
9 says don't get caught up in endless genealogies.
Is that why
You got a genealogical chart out here.
That's why we went into slavery?
Titus 3:9 says don't get caught up in endless genealogies.
That's not endless genealogies. Endless genealogies mean my father's father. My line goes directly back. That's what that's talking about. So you're wrong on that, vocab. And you got IUIC blitzing the church, but that's what you get.
Thank you for the umbrella. I appreciate that. Hey, what? You gonna get physical?
Michael, I got you, bro. Michael, I got you.
No, I'm allowed to be here. You're in a public place, but I see you want to touch
Michael,
me.
I got
You just
you.
ran into me on purpose.
So why did they go into
Titus
slavery?
3:9 says that
Pharaoh
you
was
not
scared.
get caught up in endless genealogy.
There's multiple.
It's not talking about endless genealogy. It's talking about what we're identifying ourselves as tribes. It doesn't mean.
IUIC carry around
Now,
a genealogical chart. If you should not get caught up in endless genealogy.
A genealogical chart would be this individual right here. He would have a chart with his father, his father's father, his father's father, father, his father, that goes to Benjamin, the land of Benjamin, to the land of Gad, the land of Gideon, the land of the Benjaminites, or Jerusalem, the land of the Judah. That's what that means, vocab. That's not him having a chart out there. Has nothing to do with what you're saying.
I want to know.
We dealing with the brother.
Oh yeah, that's my homie.
We dealing with the brother, not you.
Make sure you get this, just in case they like to get physical, because that'd be fascinating. Why would we get up, Mike?
How you doing, sir?
I'm not allowed to touch one.
Okay. Give me a.
Thanks for allowing me to touch my homie, bro. I appreciate it.
Do you know what that
You know his name? You know his name?
I know his
Because I know his name. So I'm allowed to be here, right? But I don't know who you are.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
You gotta do what?
Choose none of his ways. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Oh, you got a nice conversion. You make that money, you gotta pay the bills.
I appreciate that. It
You
is
don't
why I'm
want
out
to
here.
they join hand in hand. All right?
3:9 says
Read that again.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. Read it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Envy.
And then this fat black Christian, he has long hair, he's got a feminine spirit on him, he's fucking obese. This man had childhood issues, man. He was touched. Being that fucking fat. And then you got long ass dreads. Which the scripture, what did the Apostle Paul say? Speak about men having long hair. And Paul was the apostle of the Christians, of the Gentiles. Show you how hypocritical the Christians are. They'll like, what's this guy, what's his name? Adam Cole or whatever. This guy got long braids. Somebody should say, well, look, brother, the Apostle Paul got on men of Corinth talking about long hair. When you gonna follow that?
Thou not the oppressor.
Let me see this. Bishop Nate, Brandon Tatum, and black on black crime.
And choose none of his ways. We are the biblical Israelites, God's chosen people. Mike, you're an Israelite.
That's right.
Christ is an Israelite. He looks like you. This is what I'm going.
Why you so fucking fat? Why you so goddamn fucking fat? You had issues. You was tough.
Exodus.
Long ass fucking hair like a girl.
Because you're called your oppressor. To come.
In Revelation 9, it says Revelation 9, it said they had hair as a woman. What does that mean? They had hair as a woman. It means you had long hair. Because the dog fighters in World War I, they were flying around those planes. They had the scarves around their neck, and you can look like hair. So that's what John said. So they had hair as women. This guy has hair as woman. Somebody should show him. Was that 1 Corinthians chapter 11? If I'm not mistaken. And that's called an estrogen belly. That means what his body is experiencing is a thing called insulin resistance, which is not good. Which is like this nigga got high blood pressure. He's probably diabetic. I doubt if he's pre-diabetic. That nigga diabetic.
And content. You called your oppressor.
I didn't call him.
You didn't call him?
No, I didn't. You sure did. My church came in here and got me. I didn't call anybody. Hey,
I don't.
This is funny that the oppressor came here when you and he knows you.
Yeah, he does know me.
He does know you.
Yes, sir.
That's funny. That's funny. Give me a. Did you guys find that?
Call you?
Though they join hand in hand.
I didn't call him.
Michael, so now we are Israelites. Give me Deuteronomy 28. Let's go Deuteronomy 28 because the Israelites broke God's commandments. The Israelites broke God's commandments. Deuteronomy.
They're trying to teach this guy, this big fat guy with the dreadlocks, and he's bucking up against them, and nobody else is out there but dust. Close the fuck up. These IUIC guys, they funny people.
28 verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
This dude got his hair, he's bald over there. Scriptures speak about that.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, then all these curses shall come upon thee.
Look how he got his hand on his hip, just like like you cooking chitlins, man. You know, a woman be cooking fried chicken, they got their hand on their hip. Look like a big big Shirley.
And overtake thee.
So all these curses.
And if you told him that he's not supposed to have long hair, he'll find a way to get out of it. That's what Christians do.
What happened to us, and we went to slavery, and we broke God's commandments.
That's right. I'm asking you.
I'm going to show you why we went to slavery.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. Thine enemies.
We will serve our enemies because we didn't listen to God and keep his commandments.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Look at that. Look at that. The high and tight right there. Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not dealing with the IUIC. Most I got to shake them up.
Hunger.
We didn't serve them and we didn't listen to God. We got to serve our enemies. But let me finish this question when you're done. Yes, sir. I got you, Mike. We got to serve our enemies in food,
and in thirst,
for water, for clothing,
and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Anything we want. Anything we want. We got to serve our enemies. Who is the enemy? Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
This is history. This happened to the Israelites a long time ago.
That's right.
We serve our enemies. Watch this for your son. That's your son.
Another translation.
We went into slavery and says your enemies would do what?
KJV to read out.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Your enemies would put a yoke of iron upon your neck. That happened in 1619.
That's right.
1492. Your enemies put a yoke of iron upon the Israelites' necks. Why? Verse 15 again.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
This is the purple fifth right here. Hey, what's up, Purple Feds? This brother's getting my license plate, bro. Hey, what kind of feds are you over here getting people's license plates, man? What if I did that to your truck? What would you say?
You agree with
What
that?
would you say? No, I don't.
Not only
operate
acknowledge you,
like
what
that.
I'm saying says
You went against God's commandment.
I don't get license plate.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me why you wanted to get my license plate, brother. What was the reason you wanted to get my license plate?
No, you need to prove it because he went. You didn't answer him.
The Bible doesn't say that.
You had us holding
The Bible doesn't say that.
You just bought me twice.
The Bible doesn't say that.
You
Brother,
prove why
you
we
want a
went
public
to slavery.
place?
Why? I
You
already
are following me around.
This guy got a total fat black woman spirit on him, man.
A public place.
Why?
Stop following me around, my friend. Did you follow me? Yes or no? Did you follow me? Yes or no? Did you follow me from there to there? Yes or no? You trained me like a shadow. Now, unless you want to stop being a shadow like the Fed, like my man over here, so just relax.
What sin did we do? Here's the
What sin did we do in Exodus chapter 1?
Exodus, here's the check. There is no sin listed in Exodus 1 to tell you why Israelites fell into slavery. Here's what it is.
Now I want to know who instructed you to go get my license plate. How was that part of
Whole
ministry?
family killed.
Somebody showed
It was him tried, getting tried for his faith.
Oh, so he got tried without sinning.
And explain to me this.
Oh, so Job could get
Now,
tried.
but we're not talking about Job. We're talking about Exodus, the Israelites. We're talking about Exodus, the Israelites. Why did the Israelites
Principle.
Why did the Israelites sin? How did the Israelites sin?
Principle. How? You answer my question. How did Job sin?
No, I'm not talking about Job. I'm talking about Exodus. Exodus chapter 1. What did they do to become in sin?
So we have Israelites who trust God. You believe that? You have Job who trusts God.
I'm talking about Exodus chapter 1,
We're talking about
bro.
people of God.
Mike.
Now, you know why he said you got Job that trust God because they believe that Job is an Edomite.
People of God.
I already said right there, first of all, you think he's an Edomite, Job is an Israelite.
Mike, Exodus chapter 1.
You're a child of God, you're an Israelite, right? You're a child of God, Israelite. Let's say you're in Exodus, right?
Okay.
You're in Exodus. Egypt. All of you are your family. You've all grown. You've all multiplied. In fact, let's imagine there's 900 dudes here with a purple shirt that all believe they're Israelites. You're in Exodus.
Why?
A new king. Look, a new king comes.
Now,
Who's
we got
terrified of
family
you,
out here,
right?
too. So we'll have our side of the story.
Hold on.
This
Where you guys going to next week? That's what I want to know.
answer why in Exodus 1 they went into slavery. Why? Come on.
Leviticus chapter 18 verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt.
What were some things that they were doing in Egypt, Mike?
What?
What
I'm gonna try to have a Bible study
that the
with
Israelites
this
were
guy
doing in
on the
Egypt?
side, right?
In Egypt, some of them.
And what I want to do is I'm going to show
But that's not what Exodus
how
says.
these dudes
So
literally
is that not
follow
a
me
punishment?
wherever I go.
Is that
So notice, I'm not going to touch him. I'm not going to follow him.
Because that's
They're
the
going to
thing.
follow me.
You
So
understand?
I want
Yes,
to
some of
show.
them did
I want to
go.
show you.
All of them went into.
Watch this. How this
All of
works,
them
right?
went into the Egyptian customs.
Alright, so I'm gonna-
That's the thing. If one sins, we all
Let me
sin.
grab this verse real
If
quick.
one sin, we
I wanna
all
show
sin.
them
Watch
the
this. Look at what
covenant real
Daniel.
quick here.
Is Daniel a righteous man?
And then I want to show you how they act.
Daniel was a righteous man.
Yes, he was. Did he
Daniel was a
sin?
righteous man.
Yes, he did. Job was a
This
righteous
is a good
man.
one here.
But Job didn't get into
But
trouble
it's-
because he sinned.
It was him and all his people. It's him and all his people. Daniel chapter 12. Chapter 12, or you know what you're doing?
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Yes, sir. Yea, all Israel. All Israel.
Remember I said he would follow me?
All
wherever I go
Israel.
and then claim I'm in his way?
All Israel.
I went from here to here.
Customs like Easter, like Christmas, which is not in the Bible.
Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
All Israel transgressed God's laws. Give me a second. I'm not done with the scripture. All Israel. Okay.
9 minutes.
Answer.
Where do you live?
Almost everything you read.
Is this even your neighborhood,
Okay.
bro?
Almost everything.
Do you belong here?
When I ask
You all
you a
come
question,
harass church members.
why in Exodus?
They don't want to
the
talk to
children
you.
of
Then someone
Israel
shows up
in
and knows what's
Exodus
up. And look
go into slavery. You prove it.
This is Phoenix. I said in the beginning. So you're in Vocab's hood. He protecting his hood.
So what's the protocol to get my license plate?
Let's
What
go
do you
to-
do
I'm
with
gonna
that
show you
information?
why.
I would love to.
Where's that in order? Not only does it have dreaded, but it's a hot mess. How about Shem Yahushua is not dealing with the IUIC? Period.
No.
Go to Genesis 6. I'm gonna take you. Why? Let's go to Genesis 6.
This says right here
When did the Israelites
that
become a
Abraham
nation?
believed in the Lord and it counted to him for righteousness. Now I point this out to you.
The scriptures say do everything in decency and order. What's decent and in order about these dreads?
Because he was counted for righteousness because of his belief. This is before circumcision. So Abraham was not circumcised in Genesis 15. He was circumcised later on in the book of Genesis. Now, when he was circumcised, it was like 15 years later, maybe 30. But it was definitely later on. So here's what I want to know.
We are
Abraham's salvation,
you are Jacob.
comes by his law,
You are
Jacob. The Bible said.
Salvation does not come through keeping the law. Salvation comes through predestination. Ephesians 1 and 2.
We are God's
It was counted to him for righteousness in Genesis 15:6. Prior to his
let's put up on
circumcision.
Genesis 6.
How do you explain the fact that he was not circumcised yet, and the Bible says it was counted to him for righteousness?
Genesis, right?
What's the key here, my friend?
Yeah, because you could be counted righteous before you keep the laws. And you're not saved by keeping the laws. You're saved. You're predestined to be saved.
Genesis chapter 6 verse 1.
Neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High might stand. I'm merely paraphrasing Romans 9.
Happened in Genesis chapter 6 verse 1.
Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when the men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Right, because that's what these guys teach. IUIC, vocab is right. IUIC is teaching that you got to keep the laws to be saved. No, the Apostle Paul got on the Galatians about that keeping the law to be saved. Also among the Israelites of Colossus. So that's just two examples. And even Peter in Acts 15, I always bring those things up. That you don't got to keep all the laws. That you come into this thing by faith. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. Hebrews 11 and 1. So they pushed them precept package about the law. Keep this law, keep that law. If you don't keep it, which they don't keep the laws, where's their phylacteries at? Their Sabbath is Saturday, sundown, and Sunday, sundown. Friday, sundown, and Saturday, sundown. That's the so-called Sabbath. So there's all kind of whole. They're like Swiss cheese.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
Now there was the sons of God and the sons of men, right? The other nations. God has the Israelites weren't here yet. That's not till Genesis 49.
It's not law.
When did they get punished?
You can't successfully keep the law. But here we see he believed in the Lord.
The nation of Israel wasn't created till Genesis 25. Jacob, and then
25 or 49.
25 was when Jacob was born, and then 49 is when the 12 sons got their blessing. Does that make sense? Now, let me finish.
You lost. How do you explain Genesis 15:6 says he believed in the Lord and it was counted to him for
somewhere in there.
righteousness?
Genesis 12. Okay, you got me. Okay, but now, when did they get punished?
Right, you believe in the Lord. When you first come into this thing, you believe. Not, I'm going to keep this law, that law, that law. Because the man on the two, what they call them, the two benefactors, the man on one side of the cross, he said, "Remember me in your kingdom." He didn't keep no laws. He was a criminal.
For this sin.
Here, flip the camera around. I want to show you, brother.
Announcing the bedhead sale at Warehouse, with savings for bedheads of all kinds. We're more a mattress store. We're Mattress Warehouse.
Hi guys, I'm going to test my new Zoom Scope today.
Another commercial.
This monocular scope is so...
If Christians don't know the Bible like you said, why can't IUIC man tell us what Genesis 15:6 is all about?
You're asking when when did the sons of God get punished for mixing with foreign nations, right?
Yes, with the stranger, the sons of God. What happens in Genesis 7, the flood?
Okay, how many people died?
The whole earth.
Okay, so you're asking, when did the people who committed sin 6 get punished in Genesis 7? The flood happened.
1, 2,
Killed everybody.
3.
Everybody except Noah.
They came back.
Right.
Like 4 cameras.
Who came back?
All the nations.
Right, but the nations through
Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Okay, but Noah
with his sons of God.
was Noah one of the ones who mixed with
Matter of fact, why did this
Check this
happen?
out. Maybe
Why did
you
this
would
happen?
answer this.
Answer
Genesis
this. Why did this
15:6.
happen to your people? Why did it happen? Why did this happen?
You want me to answer the question?
So here's what's important about Genesis 15:6. Notice how early we're at the Bible. Notice, by the way, my Bible's tore up.
Right, and sold it to Europeans. And they kept 15 million of them.
All I see is a coat. Yeah, vocab was right. Anyway, so let me see what's going on here. I went along. Let me check out a little of this. I'm kind of afraid because they can let me see something. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Anyway, what is this all about? Was America founded on biblical principles or a cult? This guy looks like what's this guy? He died a couple years ago. 700 plus. Pat Robinson, I believe that's his son, one of his sons, which I'm not going to watch because I might get a strike. Anyway, Shalom on to the next. Hot mess. Shalom.